Hello, everybody. It's your boy Sen Pineapple, and today we're just doing another one of those rant and reviews, like I did for Luna Abyss. That being said, in the future, instead of this like rinky-dink slideshow that I put together with just a few screenshots from my gameplay, I'll probably have a webcam. Maybe not probably, but I'll look into getting a webcam. When I get some money next time, or if I work up the courage, I guess, to do that. It's a lot of stress putting your face out on the internet for the first time. But whatever. That being said, it's not what this video is about. It's about the dear game called Arx Fatalis, developed by Arcane, published by Bethesda. Now I know I said going into the first playthrough that I was looking for something to, showcase what Bethesda used to be. And honestly, I think Arx Fatalis did that well. And yeah, I'll start with the pros of Arx Fatalis. The fact that you could do just about anything you wanted. Like, this game puts immersive sim, like, it might be the precursor of that entire category. Like, you can do anything. You can kill any of the NPCs. You cast magic by drawing it. You find out your quest lines by reading books and talking to the NPCs that you might or might not meet until you accidentally clear the entire map. Basically, I totally screwed up my series of events here. If I could go back and play Arx Fatalis for the first time, I would follow an order of events. I'd Google it and I'd be like, yo, what to do here, 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 instead of wandering around aimlessly, just doing whatever I want. But that was the cool part. At the beginning, that's when I had the most fun. Because I was wandering around doing whatever I wanted. And it was working. It was flowing well. It was going well. And then we got like, I don't know, halfway through. Was it half? I'm not sure. A third to halfway through my gameplay here, my playthrough of Arx Fatalis, it was just like, well, yeah, now you have no idea what to do. And that's where this old immersive sim comes in. Read this, read that, which I didn't do, and that's on me. That being said, that's on me. Um, anyways, whatever. Immersive sim, that's what they're about. You get immersed and you get going. All right, now, that being said, I do have a lot of qualms with that kind of immersive sim. And my first qualm with it is being the lack of NPCs willing to help, which I know this might not make sense. Or maybe it does make sense. You're trying to save the world here, or you are saving it. You are doing it. You're doing it. And you go up to the like captain of the guards, Carlo in this case, or the king, and then they're just like, "Good luck." And you're like, "Good luck." Oh, I didn't realize I had to go fight a god, all of his believers, all of the whatever, the goblins, I have to get through their territory. The trolls got to get through their territory. The snake, I don't remember what they were called. The snake women, the Naga, in this case, is what they're just genuinely called. They're generally called. The dwarf kingdom with the ancient beast. You go through all of that, and the entire time I would go back and ask, and they're just like, "Yeah, it's up to you, dog." And you're like, "No hints, nothing." Or even that, like, find out what the cult is doing. And I raided like 3 or 4 cult bases, and they were just like, "Yeah, well, you didn't do shit." And you're like, "What do you mean I didn't do shit? Find more details out about the cult." I did. I gave you this information. I didn't hand it over. Like, it's not a document or whatever, but like, I did this, and they just don't care. That was like my big, when you have an immersive sim, you really got it. You really got to nail it down and tie those events to your character's choices, your character's actions. Like, in my personal opinion, the best representation of doing an immersive sim, character wise, that is Greedfall, made by Spiders. Every little action, and Witcher 3 did a really good job. Even though I didn't really like Witcher 3 combat that much, like a lot of the actions and choices you made, like you felt not as heavy as Greedfall, mind you. In Greedfall, you help a little side character, and that guy's your best friend for the rest of the entire game. Oh, Otto Manawi, you did it. You saved the day. You saved me. We're awesome. I give you a discount at my store. That's what a lot of these RPGs should do. Skyrim, you know, Fallout, Outer Worlds. You're supposed to be that, like, and Outer Worlds 2 actually did a decent job in the beginning. And when you get to like, gosh, I don't remember the later facilities. Spacer's Choice, and then the grandma's whatever. The name of the factions doesn't matter. Either way, you get what I'm trying to say. When you have an immersive sim like this, and I get it, it's 2002 was when Arx Fatalis was made, but you need to have that immersion. Yo, there's traders on the fifth floor. Would you mind putting that on my map for me? No. What do you mean no? No. Okay, this map, the map. That's a rant. I'll start my rant here. The map system fucking sucked. Like it was bad. X marks the spot. Okay, is that it? We can't place our own map marker? We can't what? We can't do shit with this map. You know, back in 5000 AD, they had more detailed maps. Yo, Unga Bunga, where's Waterhole? Ooh, five, whatever fucking, 500 sticks west. They probably didn't even have west. 500 sticks that way. And you're ooh, yeah, and they got it. They understood that shit, okay? Arx Fatalis, where's this shit? Floor 1. You got geography for me? No. You know, some of the times when you're walking on the map or the levels, I think they're, yeah, I think pretty sure they're called levels in Arx Fatalis. I would be going off of the paths on the map. And it just wasn't even drawn in. Like it was just not drawn in. Like, oh, you take a stairwell in a 2-story building, or you take a right on a little branch. Not there. Bodies of water, not there. Just not there. Like what? What? Bro, they were making detailed maps on cave walls better than this shit. They were. Well, probably with their own poopy. All right, and here this Shigar. I know you got memory loss, but you can't be like, yo, big fucking rock, big snake statue here. Like you couldn't do any of that here, really. So yeah, the map system, that was my least favorite part of the entire game. Honestly, was probably this map. I got lost. If you watched any of my playthroughs, I probably got lost in all of them 10, 15 times, which is crazy. My memory is usually pretty good when it comes to this stuff. But when you're down in a dark fucking cave, staring at another cave wall, you kind of tend to forget what fucking cave wall you're looking at. So that's where I pulled out my handy dandy map, and it just didn't help. The only way you could remember where you're going in this game is that if you really fucking stared at it and took your time, which I mean I did take my time. I walked every path in that game trying to figure out where to go 8 times, and I still didn't remember where to go cuz I wasn't like, "Oh, rock. Oh, rock. Snake statue. Yeah, snake statue." But none of that was marked. You just had to be like, "Yeah, that was the furthest most southwest most hole after you take a dive through 3 aluminum passageways covered in dark rock and the torches aren't lit up, so you manually light them up." Which, whatever, that part's cool. But yeah, you get what I was trying to say. There's no map in this game. Like, there's a map, and you're like, oh yeah. And after I discovered the map, I was like, you know, this is so cool and so awesome. I can't wait to fill it out. I mean, it was like basically the same without playing without it. Like, it was basically the same as playing without it, which I was like so dissatisfied with. But you know, that's just my opinion. You know, I with all the things they thought of, like drawing your own magic spells, crafting your own potions, creating your own weapons, repairing your own tools, your armor. What else could you do that was so creative? If you put a lot of this shit in the games in 2026 nowadays, they would still be considered innovative. Like creating your own magic. Drawing your magic to cast it would be considered innovative probably even in 2030, in 4 years. So that being said, I don't know how you can have a map with more than 5 lines on it. That's just wild to me. You know what it was like when I said in Luna Abyss, where you have like these super cool characters, boss fights, scenes, the voice actors were really good, and then you have this one little shitter thing. And it makes no sense with how talented the team working on this game is. It makes no sense how they let a little shitter like that get by. That's just an Arx Fatalis. All this cool magic, all this cool fighting, crafting, all of this cool shit, and then you have a little paper map, a little shitter paper map. It don't make sense. No sense at all. But whatever, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now, getting on to the other issues I had with the game, there weren't really many. It's just the big ones, like the map, the unhelpfulness of the NPCs, and that really hurt my opinion of the game. There's like Also, the cutscenes not queuing really boned me too. Like that snake statue, which I don't know. I'll make this rant and review and like understandable for anyone that didn't watch my playthroughs because only like I don't know like 15 or 16 got through the first one. Anyway, whatever, that doesn't matter. I walked through that snake room 8 to 10 times. Like I won't even say that. Like 8 to 15 times. Legitimately 8 to 15 times. And this cutscene didn't queue. And I had to Google it. I'm like, what am I even supposed to do here? And it's like, yeah, this area is really buggy. You have to like hug the stone wall and go it like sometimes it'll queue if you're not too far, or sometimes it won't queue at all. And a lot of players get stuck. Yeah, well, I got stuck. Like I really got hard stuck with the main storyline. And that was probably like the second or third quest. And I only figured that out after 3 hours because I was just wandering around figuring out what I was supposed to do. I actually think I killed every mainline level non-hidden NPC before I figured out how to progress the campaign, which is baffling. That's just baffling. How does that ever happen? Like I killed all of the people, all the what was it? It was just a big dog on the 8th floor. The 7th floor cleared, 6th floor cleared, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, all cleared. All cleared. I got them all. Besides the ones that weren't behind a locked door, they all died. And then I go back and do this story cutscene that just didn't trigger. Like what? What? How's that even? Whatever. That's just an honest mistake the creators made, and that's all right. It happens. Now, I don't even know if I'm going what I'm doing here, going back between pros and cons. I'm just shooting blanks here every time, you know. Anyway, another problem I had with the game was the inventory. It was good, don't get me wrong. I like just and it was generous. It gave you a lot of inventory to start, but like not being able to place here's a tool set with 5 out of 5. Here's another tool set with 5 out of 5. Can't stack it. Why do you ask? I don't know. Because you can stack everything else. Here's a sword, 60 out of 60 durability. Can't stack it. Same exact sword. Same exact creator probably because you killed them all off the same guards. Can't stack them. Why? I don't know. I have a 10 stack of bread. You know, I got a 5 stack of potion and a 5 stack of a different potion and scrolls. That's another thing. Scrolls don't stack. Why? I don't know. Fireball scroll here, fireball scroll here. Don't stack. Why? Why do some things stack and then some don't? I really don't understand the logic behind it. And that's the kind of the part that it's just these little things that add up. Like the keys in the beginning. I wish I knew I had a goddamn keychain that I could buy from Maria, the random merchant that sells miscellaneous goods in the arcs in the city, in the main city there, off to the side. Instead of knowing that, because I went in shooting blanks here, blanks of knowledge, I didn't know shit going in. It was here is here are 15 different keys, and you all try them one by one at each different door. And I probably spent 6 fucking hours in that goblin kingdom, city, base, fortress. I don't know what the right term for it is. But yeah, I probably spent like 6 different hours in there, just going back and forth between each door, trying each separate key. Because I didn't know that damn keychain existed, man. Damn. Why did no one tell me? And that's you gotta wander around and figure all this stuff out. Okay, I didn't even know she was there. How am I supposed to figure this shit out if I don't know it exists? Well, that's the part of the immersive sim pineapple. You have to wander it out and figure it all out. Yes, I understand. I do understand that, but that's where my earlier complaints come about the NPCs. Not a single person tried to tell you or tried to help you. Not a single one. Here you go. Go do it. Mind you, you wake up as a bonked in the head, allegedly. We don't know really what happened because you lost your memory. You lost all your memory. And so you wake up in this shithole of a jail, and 2 minutes later, well, for me, it was like an hour because I'm a fucking idiot, and it was the first time I played PC in a decade. But yeah, 2 hours later, you end up in this kingdom, and everyone's like, yeah, go save the world. And you're like, wait. And your character, they did a good job with this. Usually the RPGs don't mention it, Maybe some other games do, but like open worlds, they don't really do that. They're just like, Amshigar, your main character. I forget what it stood for, like forgotten name. It literally stands for like forgotten memory or forgotten name. All right. And you go and everyone's like, yeah, let's go, dude, you got it. And you're like, wait, I don't even know who I am. I don't know how to swing this sword. I don't know how to hold this shield. I don't know how to drink this potion. I don't know how to do shit. And everyone's still like, yeah, you're good. And you're like, well, no, no, I'm not good. That's why I don't know what the fuck to do. And I felt like Amshigar going into this game. I felt like him. I felt like the main character. Because neither of us had a fucking clue of what was going on. And that's where the biggest matchup of immersion comes from this game, from Arx Fatalis. You don't know what to do, neither does the main character. So you're both fucking lost. You're both lost. You don't know where to buy food, so I stole it all from the kitchen of the kingdom. Because I'm sure you can get hungry in this game, by the way. Cool, that's cool and all. I didn't dare see the side effects of starving, because you probably just fucking died. But yeah, no one told you where to get the kitchen from. No one told you where to go to the tavern and the yellow tulip, called the Yellow Tulip, which I fucking whatever. That's a whole nother tangent that I won't even get into because that shit took me 8 hours to find. Um, the blacksmith. You can repair your tools here by setting them on the anvil. How? How? All right, lock picking. This will let you lock pick doors. All right, that sounds so cool. How do I do that? No, you actually need to be level 70. I sure wish someone explained that to me when I was in the character. Because, I'm like, yeah, let me make a big, dumb, strong guy. And he was a big, dumb, strong guy. And he was a good build. But if I knew that I couldn't lockpick because I was a big, dumb guy, I would have went back and I would have spent like at least 60 fucking points into that lockpicking system. So I didn't waste hours and hours looking for keys that didn't even exist. Holy shit. When you have an immersive sim like this, you gotta have the relevant immersion and information. Like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 did an excellent job with the special and with perks. They're just like, yeah, this is how you do this. This is exactly what these points do. I forget the exact like rankings, like rookie. You know what I'm trying to say? Rookie, novice, apprentice, master, grandmaster, all of that. They tell you in steps how do you unlock it, what you do to unlock it, and all that good stuff. Like it just fit well in those games. And you see the what's that called? You see the castings, you see the bearings, you see the bolts, the nuts and bolts of where they got all that system from. Probably from this game, probably from Arx Fatalis. But that's the problem. This game just has the bare bones where everything just took it from. Like yeah, you got your special in Arx Fatalis, your strength, your mental energy, your acuity, your stamina, magic, lockpicking, crafting. You got all that good stuff. But damn, it doesn't tell you shit. How much did you put into Constitution? 80 points? Yeah, well, it's just 80 points. You don't know what it does. You don't know how much it affects you. Oh, you got magic? You only got like 17 magic? Dude, you're gonna be a noob. Well, actually, it turns out you can cast like level 7 or whatever Fireball was. And you can cast a lot of them. Well, how's that work? I didn't do shit in magic. Nor have I ever practiced it. See, you got a lot of just little things like that really don't add up or make sense. Like, oh, maybe 80 is just 80 on its own, and that's fine. And you can have that. You can have that. But you have to have a kind of way to depict that so you know if you're getting any worth. Like when I was getting hit by some random, just say goblin. When I got hit by a goblin, I saw my health go down. I'm like, that sure did hurt. Yep, I bet a mage took a lot more damage. Did I know that for sure? No, I'm just guessing a mage would have taken more damage. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Defense. Well, this armor has AC +7. Okay, and I see that it stops me from taking more damage, but how? Do their weapons scale the same as my armor? Do their weapons scale the same as my weapons? You don't know. It just does not tell you anything. Not a damn thing. And that's where I'll get into like the coolness is that immersion. If you got a lot of time on your hands, like a lot of time on your hands, this game is for you. You read every little book, every little note, and you scour and scourge through every nook and cranny in this entire game, I bet it'll be way more fun than I had. You'll have way more fun than I had with this game. Like my main my main problem with this game is that I knew nothing, absolutely nothing. And usually I go in blind to these kinds of games. I go in blind to almost every single game I play. I don't like doing research. Maybe if it's a developer I really like or I don't like, I'll go in with like, different opinion. Everyone's like that, sure. But for the game itself, I don't like looking into so I can have my own experience for the first time, my own shit, my own opinion, my own little fun little time with the game. But holy shit, did it backfire in this case bad because I knew nothing. And it boned me. I didn't know story. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what the enemies did. I didn't know the scaling of my stats. And I still don't. And I played it for 25 or 30 hours probably. I still don't know shit about it. And maybe that's just because, oh, Sun Pineapple, you're a big dumb idiot. Yeah, probably. I know I'm a big dumb idiot. But still, a big dumb idiot should probably be able to understand where that shit comes from. Damage come from this type of damage. Or HP mean HP bigger? Yeah, I get that. But how? What does me putting... Is it flat? You don't tell me if it's flat. Flat, what's that called? Flat scaling. Yeah, flat scaling or exponential scaling. Ramp scaling. There's nothing. It's just there, right? It's just there. And that's why, I don't know, a lot of people were like, yeah, play Arcs Liberatis, which is just like the game, but way better. It's an unofficial add-on, I think. But yeah, I didn't want that. I just wanted the original good experience of Arcs Fatalis. And man, I got it. For like the first 12, 15 hours, I was really enjoying it a lot. And then the second half kicked in, and holy shit, was it a drag. That's why I edited it. If you make it to the end of my last playthrough, I edited, holy shit, the video and made it sound like, oh, you saved the day. And yeah, let's just cut it off. But no, they were about to send me on a whole nother quest, but it's just like, yeah, we did it. We saved the day. Let's go, dude. And I got the happy ending where I saved the kingdom. Yeah, it's my fault. But yeah, like it was getting painfully arduous. Holy shit. But yeah, that being said, the pros of the games, I went over it. Like, the more realistic voice lines with Amshigar, where he's like, wait a second, I have amnesia. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. And everyone's like, well, you can still do it. And he's like, no, I don't think you understand. Not many characters, like, you don't go out of Fallout New Vegas, hey, you gotta go find Big Ben. And you're like, wait, I can't do it. You know, you just go, yeah, okay, whatever. And then you go do it. And Shigar and this is just like, hold on, we are not prepared for this, and no one gave a fuck, which is wild. Cause if I was Shigar, I would have just been like, hold on, I just said I don't know what I'm doing and I can't do it. And some fucker goes, well, you can do it. You're awesome and you're talented and you're so handsome and sexy. I would have been like, that's all fine and dandy, but there's not even a fucking mirror in this place. I don't know if I'm handsome and sexy. I don't know shit. I don't know my own name. You had to give me a name because we have memory loss. But no one fucking mentions it. Not once does anyone mention it, which is crazy. It's crazy. Oh, you were just in prison with this one random and blah, 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 blah. No one cares. How do you have an immersive sim where no one cares about your character? What? Yeah, whatever. Gosh, I need to start writing this shit down. Like, I don't know where my pros and cons are. I think, I just ramble and cover like the biggest problems and the shit that comes straight to mind is going to be the most important stuff. And oh my god, the last rant I have about this, the damn sound effects. Holy shit, am I sorry. I'm so sorry. I turned them all the way down to 2. Off that big ass notch, I think there was 10 notches. All the way down to 2. Sounds quiet, sounds good. And then the fucking spells kick in. Oh my god, that lightning spell took 15 years off of my hearing shit. Like, I'm gonna need hearing aids by the time I'm 60 now. Holy shit. It fucking hurt. And if you saw a few of those, like, pauses or skips after the fights, it's because I had to fucking stop and take a break because my ears were starting to get it. It's like someone threw a grenade while I'm sitting in, like, a bunker, and my fucking eardrums exploded from those lightning spells. Terrible. That was the worst part about the entire game. Even pushing my dislike for it, further down, not for the entire game, but my dislike for the sound effects thing all the way down below the maps. Because, like, how do you have an audio scaler and it doesn't work? It's at 2. Why was it blowing my eardrums out? What if that shit was at 10? I think my head would have popped. It would have went into like a frying pan and fucking popped from the sound waves. It hurt. It physically hurt me to get hit by those liches and by the Naga women. It hurt. Holy fuck. And throwing out a random fern. Why is throwing out a plant? Plant! It's made out of fibers and whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't care. It's made out of soft shit. It's a fern. I've touched them. I've thrown them in real life. Why does it sound like concrete on broken glass in my fucking ears? It hurt. Hurt my soul. Holy shit. Holy shit. That being said, going back to my original tangent, I came into this game thinking, like, oh, Bethesda's been so shit recently. Let me just go into an older game of theirs and show them how it's really done. And in that regards, I won't say it was completely successful. I won't say that. What I will say was this game actually launched and it only crashed one time, which is like a way better record than modern Bethesda games. Fallout 76, for example, the first time I played that game, I played it on launch, by the way. I know, rest in peace. Shit was like serving in World War II. No, that's a drastic exaggeration, but holy shit. Okay, I go into Fallout 76, and I know this isn't Arx Fatalis, but it's Bethesda. It's my equivalent here. I go into Fallout 76. First bot gets stuck on a broken down car. I can never progress again. All right, uninstalled. I was done with it. I download Fallout 76 a year later. What happens? Servers are down. Game doesn't even fucking work. All right, how's this happen, Bethesda? Fast forward a whole lot. A whole lot. I tried it again, same thing. Servers were down. Whatever. Holy shit, I'm done with this game forever. Fast forward a whole lot more. And we have Redfall. Holy shit. Did you see the UI in Ars Fatalis? This game is 24 years old, by the way. And the UI still fucking worked than it did in Redfall. Why is that a possibility? How is that a possibility? It doesn't make sense. There's no sense here. Yeah, in Arx Fatalis, you can jump up on a fucking rock and the NPCs stand there running at you. It's the same UI as Arx Fatalis or as Redfall. I don't know if it was like 22 years later, I guess. How is it the same amount of progress? And that's the baffling part when it comes to Bethesda. Starfield, just a milk toast, not even, that's like reduced fat milk with some low fat gluten-free toast. There's nothing there. But in Arx Fatalis, you still have these bones, which is why I still think it served as a good, like, you still have the bones, you still have the sinew and the muscle fiber constructing a human being, whereas in the newer Bethesda games, you just have these bare bones of people that didn't even drink milk, or lactose intolerant people that don't find any equivalent to milk. So you got these little thin osteoporosis bones. That's this modern. That's this. I know it's a crazy analogy, but that's this modern Bethesda shit. And by playing through this Arx Fatalis game, I still kind of proved that point. Even though I had a lot of qualms with it, my overall rating with Arx Fatalis is probably like a 4.5 to 5 out of 10. And my five for me means average. Below 5, less than average. Above 5, great. It's more than average. Not great, but it's above average. And then it just exponentially down and exponentially up. Would I recommend Arx Fatalis to friends and family? Nope. I definitely wouldn't. Would I recommend Arx Fatalis to someone that has a whole bunch of free time and loves deep diving into games? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would, because, this game can definitely call to and summon a lot of those people that love hardcore, like real hardcore shit. Uh, Games like this. You need to find the clues yourself. You need to find the notes, the books, The images on the wall, the sceneries, count the torches, see if you're doing anything wrong. Look at the patterns on the floor. There's 8 levers here. What can you do? How are you going to remember them all? This game is for the people that will take time, go get a pen and notebook, and write this shit down. One here, one here, one here. Mark it down on their own. Make their own maps. Make their own notes. Make their own notebook. I think I already said that, but yeah. This is for those type of hardcore gamers. This is for if I knew a hardcore gamer, which I really don't, um, which is crazy now that I say that. The masochists is the better word here. This game, Arx Fatalis, is built for masochists. If you like beating yourself up over and over, and you really like going into your own library of lore, this game's for you. I could not recommend it enough, actually, if you're one of these people. And I don't mean masochists in a bad way. I mean masochists, like I said, if you like doing all this shit yourself, and I don't mean to say shit in like poopy, trash, and stinky, oh, it sucks. If you like doing this shit as in everything, that's just another general term. If you like doing all of this on yourself, this game was built for you. Like, it really was built for you. It's almost perfect, actually, for you. Because you could take your time to go through what's this stat do here on this character. Oh, I see. I made this on my third character. This is perfect. Magic, alchemy, lockpicking. You could figure all that stuff out on your own. But as me, as someone that was going with the expectations of no knowledge prior, no prior knowledge, no records on my mind of this game, no information. It really that just I'm sorry, I hit my desk. That really just stunk. Like it just smelled bad. Cuz when you log in, I won't say every modern game. When you log into most modern games now though, that you understand, you get a gist of just about what you're doing. And you don't get that gist here. Not at all do you get this gist here. How many hits does it take to hit this guard or to kill this guard or to kill this goblin? Just count. Yeah, that's all. You just count. And you know, I'm a big Monster Hunter guy too, so I'm used to not having like HP. But that's not my complaint. Don't tie that to my complaint because that's not what's going on. It's more like it's more like there's no general feedback. I would get a crit hit on. You could watch it in my last one. If maybe you won't, whatever. If you did, you would notice that I one shot one of the cultist members in the purple robes with my regular double. I think I was using the two-handed sword at that time. With the two-handed sword, all right? Now, if you rewind, I might have leveled up my strength 15 to 20 times by the time I fought the first purple robe guys. But hold on. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm getting at here, I meant. You have this purple robe guy, and then I swung at him 15 times, and he still lived and ran away. Whereas this one just got one shot. Or I quick saved, save scummed, went back and loaded a save. How'd I kill him in 3 hits with no crits this time? I could not understand. Like, there's almost no equivalent in this game. Not one measure that I could really understand. They would get into like a general scope, I guess. I would get like a general scope of things and how they worked. Like, oh, this goblin's gonna take like 4 hits, but sometimes they didn't. It'd be like 8 or 10. Or those ill sides I fought at the end. One would take 15 hits, the other would take 65 with double damage. What am I supposed to measure it off here? There's nothing. There's no wounds. There's no HP. Monster Hunter, you get the wounds at least. You get the damage to the scales, to the pieces. You understand all that. And you start to pick up the gist and roll with it. This game was like, you beat a block. Oh, yeah, okay, here we go, Minecraft. You beat a block and you see those textures of it breaking. At least you got that. In this, it's like, you see the little blood. And you see a little blood. Maybe you don't. Maybe you hit the armor. Did that do any damage when I hit his armor? You don't know. You don't know. And that's my biggest qualm. There's nothing in this game that tells you your progress. Not even a hint. You don't even get a hint. All right. So yeah, holy shit. I know this tangent's going way off scale because I just love fucking yapping to myself. I love it, dude. It's so nice. And I can talk all day. Whatever. That being said, this is my Arx Fatalis review, rant and review. And yeah, I would give the game, let's just say 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Wasn't bad. I enjoyed a lot of it. I also didn't enjoy a lot of it. A lot of it was creative. A lot of it was uncreative. Again, it is it's 24 years old, which is mad impressive if you think about it. Like, that's just crazy for a game to come out 24 years ago, and it still worked as well. Regardless, there was a lot of things that didn't work well, and that's where the aging comes in. You think it would scale, right? But it doesn't because Bethesda makes no sense. Anyways, yeah, that's my point of view on this game. If you like this rant, feel free to like and subscribe. I know I'm schizophrenic and just rant to myself and make side tangents that I never go back to, but that's just how I am. And that's just how this video is. See, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but I still appreciate you for listening. And if you appreciate it, check out my other videos. I'm not even going to link them here. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm bipolar as shit, so I will link them here at the end of the video. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for checking out my Arcs Fatalis playthroughs. And next, I think I'll have another one of my budget playthroughs, like the budget buys, because I got two steals on two games you might know from the company Remedy, and I'll be getting into them. That being said, which I've said 5 fucking times, I know I'm annoying and obnoxious. I'm getting there. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.